We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, chat?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Film Scoop.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, brothers.
Yep.
Ladies, if there's any. Doubt it.
No. No,
doubt it.
definitely not. Definitely not, dude.
If there was, they got one episode deep and they were like, fuck this.
These guys talk about cum a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are they talking about Batman so much?
Yeah. This was supposed to be about movies, and we only talk about
Why are
Batman.
they talking about jerking off?
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome back, brethren. Back to the scoop. This is going to be a sort of a catch-up episode, because if you tuned in last week, you know it was Batman Day. Me and Carl spent the whole episode talking about Batman, like
Yep.
you do.
It was
Like one does.
one of the coolest episodes I think we've done so far.
I really liked that episode.
Yeah.
I liked how nothing was a competition.
The
It
whole
was just,
format of
we're just sitting there, just celebrating the best character ever created. We're just talking about all the different adaptations of them, the things that make them cool, the things that make all the adaptations different. Just a good old time. Really long episode too.
I mean,
We almost hit the 3-hour mark. We almost recorded our own Oppenheimer.
we could. I
just
mean,
about
I could have
Batman.
kept going.
Oh, I could have too.
Yeah.
We didn't even dive that deep into like the Keaton movies or like the animated movies. We could have been doing this all day. But yeah, it's gonna be sort of just like, because last week when we did the Batman episode, we didn't talk about anything like news or watch list or anything. So this week
I don't
will
think
be
there
kinda
was
like,
much news or anything to even talk
normally
about.
there isn't, especially during the strike. But
Yeah.
so we'll kind of get back on track this week, have a normal episode, and then in 2 days we're seeing The Creator, which
so
I'm
excited.
fucking stoked about.
I have a lot of stuff going on that day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've got the movie to catch.
yep.
And also the Home Depot order I placed is going to be ready Thursday.
Well, we know what's more important.
They're both pretty cool with me.
What'd you order?
I ordered that the DeWalt toolboxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's like Christmas Day for you.
Basically,
And you're gonna come home, play with it for like 30 minutes, and then have to leave.
Yeah, but like if you were leaving to go get laid, yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm leaving to go watch The Creator.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, I got to put my toy down and go get a BJ, that's the equivalent of what my day is going to be like Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just leaving one great thing to go do another great thing.
That's what
Dude,
I'm
if
hoping
The Creator
for.
stinks, it's gonna fuck me.
I've got something in my guts telling me this is going to be cool as shit.
I just like, based on the trailer, I just don't see how it's bad.
Something about the visuals of it, dude, is like
The something about the visuals is that Greg Fraser did them. That's the something.
it's
Because
fucking, it looks
they're
awesome.
amazing. Because
Yeah.
Greg Fraser did them. Oh, and you know how the score is going to be great too, because it was done by Hans Zimmer.
Oh my god.
Dude, fuck me.
No
And
shot
John
it's
David
bad.
Washington,
No shot.
star
is
of Tenet, he ordered his hot sauce an hour ago.
bad. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
There's no way it's bad.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Even if it's bad, I'll convince myself it's good. Just for inner peace.
I have to. I mean, I can't say I like. Right now, I like every movie I've seen with John David Washington.
We're
So
2 for 2.
I don't want to. I don't want. to
That's
be
it,
like,
right?
He broke it. No. Yeah, that's. There's only been 2 that I can
We've
think
seen
of.
2 movies.
Yeah.
He was
right
in
now-
Amsterdam, but we didn't watch that one, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It can't be a bad movie if you don't watch the movie.
It can't be a bad movie if you forget it exists. Because I wish you hadn't told me that.
Yeah, but we've seen Black Klansman and Tenet, and he's
Yeah.
banging in both. So that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a couple things to go over. Only 2 things that I wanted to speak about real quick in terms of like news.
Okay.
First off, the WGA signed their deal, so that's fucking sick. I'm assuming you saw
Finally,
that.
Yeah. No, I didn't see that, but
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
Yeah, so the writers signed their deal, so they're good to go. And now we're just waiting on SAG for the actors to sign their deal.
Did they
And,
get any money?
the writers?
Yeah.
I mean, they agreed to a new deal, so they're getting like the deal makes them earn more money. It's not like
Okay.
you get a check that's like, here's $20,000. It's
I'm
just like
curious.
it's like
to
getting a
know-
raise.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know. Like, I hope they're happy. I hope that unanimously they're happy because that whole thing is like, it went on for way too long.
Yeah, the WGA released a statement that was like, these, like, you know, the things that we set in the deal are what we needed and will like have a, you know, much better quality of life now, and we'll be able to take care of ourselves with this deal. So sounds like it was a great deal. So
Thank God.
shout out to them.
You would think it
Hold
would
them
be easy to be like, man, we have talented people. We should pay them accordingly.
And yeah, and,
But that's just way
and
too big.
our
brain.
work profits hundreds of millions of dollars for these companies, but I can't fucking go get a sub from Subway.
Yeah.
You'd think that just makes sense. Like, oh, I should get paid a decent amount.
Yeah.
Nope. So yeah, we're just waiting on the SAG agreement, and this could be wrapped up pretty soon. So that's.
And
big
then we
time.
get Dune 2.
Woo. They should undelay it now that SAG has agreed. And
Dude, I would come
imagine.
in my pants, dude. That'd be the craziest day of like, all right, we'll release it now.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
I'm just joshing you.
Oh yeah, and then the other piece of news I saw today, like, it was tweeted like it wasn't news at all, and like it was something that had been known about, but a tweet today said Matthew Vaughn, I don't know why they were talking about James Bond, but they said Matthew Vaughn will not be doing the new James Bond because he's devoted to the new DCU. They said that like we knew he was attached to the DCU in any capacity, and we didn't.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Matthew Vaughn's awesome.
I wonder what they're gonna have him do.
Dude, he could do like anything. Like
They're
he has
bringing
experience
in
with comic book movies with
Yeah.
Kick-Ass. I think he did Kick-Ass 2, and he did X-Men First Class. So just fucking knockouts with comic book movies, and then he did the Kingsman movies. I think he did all three. I'm not sure. I know he did the first two. And he has a new movie coming out, I think called Argyle or something. I don't know what that's about.
I really like him though.
But he's just got such like a cool style, and
Yeah.
I think he's gonna fit really well. And it's just a good sign for the DCU to have these filmmakers like Matthew Vaughn and James Mangold like right off the bat.
Yeah.
You have these like established filmmakers that people respect coming in and giving their stamp of approval to James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting those guys to make Marvel movies.
No.
Like, they're not agreeing to do
And then it's
that.
like, it's one thing to get these guys on, but then also to like have them genuinely believe in like what they're doing, like to turn down doing James Bond because you're like, nah, like obviously the future's here. Like I have what I want here, and I can do what I want here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Already scooping up top shelf guys to take care of business over there at DC.
Yeah, like the only like notable director I can think of with the MCU like recently was Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
And like he directed the shit out of Multiverse of Madness. Too bad this script was hot steaming dumpster dog shit.
Dude. Movie is atrociously bad.
That movie has some fans. Not the smartest fans, but they have.
Yeah, dude.
it
I'm
has
sure
some-
like people like Charles Manson too. You know, there's lunatics in the world
Yeah.
that will just jump onto something.
But yeah, it's a great sign to me. Like he hasn't made a single thing, but just off the conversations Gunn is having with people, or based on his previous work, or how he said that the DCU is going to be creative driven by like directors and writers, and not about making money and building worlds. It's going to be more about each film having a specific filmmaker's, you know, creative vision being told, and that's something that Marvel doesn't do. Everything Marvel does looks the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a great sign to me that you know, you're getting these top dogs right off the bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the news. I'm trying to remember. I'm looking at my watch list. I'm trying to remember what's the last movie we talked about off the watch list. Because before the Batman episode, I think it was Warrior. Before the Batman episode, we did the sports episode, and Warrior I watched that night before we recorded it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
It's got to be Warrior. So then the next day I watched Hunt for the Wilderpeople.
How did you like it?
It's good. I liked it. It's what I wanted Swiss Army Man to be.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi. Sorry.
Vegetables?
The kid from Deadpool 2, Julian Dennison.
Yeah.
And Sam Neill.
Yep.
It sort of plays out how you expect.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing crazy in terms of the structure, but just really enjoyable, really funny. Everybody in the movie talks like Taika Waititi because they're all in like New Zealand or wherever.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. Like, you know that Shane Gillis skit where he's like, it doesn't matter, like you can't be a goth Australian because you just sound funny.
Yeah, everything you say with an Australian
All day
accent.
I think about death.
Yeah.
It's like in that movie, no matter what they say, it's funny. Like,
yeah.
Like one of the cops will just yell, "Come back here!" And it'll just be hilarious because they talk like that.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it's funny.
Yeah, the child protective service lady, like she was like, my slogan's "No child left behind," and every time she says it, I laugh. She's not saying anything crazy.
Yeah,
She's
just
saying
because it sounds funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that added a lot of comedy to it just by their accents.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I gave it just a 4 out of 5. Solid.
I think that's what I gave it.
Great time. Yeah, I enjoyed
Awesome.
it. Next day, I watched Blade Runner.
Of course.
Lonesome venture, just me at night, lights off, just locked in, headphones on.
Can you
4K
imagine
disc.
what kind of a lunatic you would have to be to watch Blade Runner during the day, on like a sunny
You'd have
day?
to be an idiot.
Yeah.
You'd have to be a numbskull.
Yeah.
You
have to watch Blade Runner in a rainy alley at midnight.
Yeah,
That's the only way to
bring
watch.
a TV into like behind a Costco.
Yeah.
And sit there in the rain.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
the only
put
way
a
to watch
poncho
it.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it alone. Watched it with my headphones on, locked in, because Blade Runner was always one of those movies that like I respected, but I never really loved it. I watched it and I was like, yeah, it's got some cool things, but like it's boring at parts, and I like the new one better. And this new rewatch for me changed the game.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's an incredible movie, and now I have the two. I still slightly prefer the new one, 2049, but Blade Runner is right there behind it.
Okay.
I think it's a masterpiece.
I need to rewatch the original because I'm in the position you were in before the rewatch, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I also have a very weird love for the 2049.
It's not weird. It's amazing.
I don't know. There's
Everyone
like,
loves that movie.
Yeah, but like I feel like I'm really into it.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, it's in my top. I think it's in my top 10 of all time. I
I
love 2049.
Yeah, it's not that weird then.
It's not like it's a competition. Like you don't have to. Oh, I love 49 too much to watch the original.
Well, no,
and try
so
to
there's
love
just
it. It's
like
you can love
there's
both.
stuff that I see and I don't really explain it, but I'm like, yeah, dude. Like the hologram sequence where she does like the overlay on top of the prostitute.
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit. I don't know why.
You look like a good Joe.
That was hot. That was sexy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, Ridley Scott's like world building and set design is off the fucking charts. This movie is dripping.
Yeah.
It is dripping with atmosphere. And the score, I think by Vangelis is the group or person or whoever did the score. It sounds so fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's like futuristic jazz, if that makes sense.
It's exactly what when you step into the Blade Runner world, it's what you would think they would listen to.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
And
the song that plays when he's like coming on to what's her face in his apartment. It's fucking
coming on to what's her face?
Yeah, what's her name? The main
Rachel.
Rachel, yeah, when he's like making advances towards her.
Mm.
and they're like in his shadowy apartment.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, this is crazy.
The cinematography is amazing.
Yeah.
The score is amazing. Just the overall world building and set design. And what clicked for me this time was the story. I thought the first time I watched it, I was kind of bored by the story. And this new watch, I gained a new appreciation for it.
Okay.
And I think you should rewatch it. I think the characters are great. I think the way that they tell the story is like really interesting, and it has a lot to say about, even though it sounds cliche, what it means to be a human and the differences, how we judge people. Like in this world, they're judging, androids for being androids when some of them are more human than us.
Yeah. And
that's some of, they get into that some in the sequel, and it's fucking amazing. I could rewatch it right now. It's so fucking cool.
Nah, man. Now I want to watch Blade Runner.
You should. Watch my 4K disc when you do, because that disc is amazing.
Okay.
It's really fucking...
I'll definitely check it out.
Really
I think I want to do that this weekend.
Yeah, you should. And then after that, we watched Bottoms, which I don't think we have even talked about ever.
We didn't.
We went straight into the Batman episode.
We kept it tight-lipped for Bottoms.
Yeah, but Bottoms was sick.
It was really awesome. I had a great time with Bottoms.
Yeah, it's a return of comedies. Not action comedy, not horror comedy, not sci-fi comedy, not romance comedy, sort of, it is. But it's just a comedy movie. Like back in the 2000s when you would just go see fucking Talladega Nights, or you'd go see like Step Brothers. Just like the purpose of the movie is to be funny.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen very often anymore. And or at least not well, at least not one that actually works. Because I feel like Bottoms, damn near every joke was funny.
Yeah.
Like it was consistently funny throughout the entire runtime. And what's interesting is like it takes place in this like heightened world where basically everyone except the two main characters are caricatures of like people. Yeah. And that's gonna not work for some people. Some people will see that and think this is stupid. I'm never watching this again. But it's like, for example, if there's a football player in the movie, he is an idiot and he's like homoerotic and he wears his uniform 24/7. He never takes it off.
Yeah.
And it's like all the characters, all their traits are like amplified, and they don't act like humans. They act like, cartoon characters.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, it's really funny. I love that shit.
Yeah.
But I could see some people, and I've actually seen complaints, like people I know not liking it because of that specific reason. But I thought it was hysterical.
Yeah, but like all those comedies that I really like that I have encountered people that don't like, that seems like that's usually the case. They're always a caricature of something nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Like, I feel like it's hard to make a comedy movie when everything is just normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like something like Superbad, but like McLovin doesn't act like, no one acts like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I like Superbad, but I also like Anchorman. Like, I like all types of funny stuff. And seeing
Jeff,
the star quarterback's name is Jeff. His jersey just says Jeff.
Yeah, I pointed it out to Carl. I was like, dude, his jersey says Jeff.
And he walks out and goes, Jeff.
Yeah. And then he starts, dude, Jeff was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Io Edebiri and Rachel Sennott, fucking awesome. Yeah. Great comedic timing. I think it's their first movie together, but they had chemistry, like they were best friends, and they have been working together for a long time.
Yeah, all the main actresses did a great job.
Yeah.
I think Rachel also did some of the writing on it too.
Yeah, she was like a executive producer and a writer, so that's really cool. She was hands-on with that. And the girl who played what was her name? The third girl. Her name was Hazel, played by Ruby Cruz. She was really funny.
Yeah.
Like, and also just like a great character. One of the like emotional like backbones of the movie, but she was really funny. And the girl that kept talking about her stepdad and like all of it.
They're gonna pork us.
Yeah, it was it was overall just a great time.
Yeah,
I want to rewatch it.
Super over the top, super ridiculous, super funny.
Marshawn Lynch,
dude,
come on.
I haven't seen him not be funny in my life.
Yeah, he's hysterical.
Yeah.
Also, if you pay attention, there's a Skittles cameo. In one of the scenes, they go to talk to Marshawn Lynch, who's a teacher, and on his desk is a big bowl of Skittles. So if you watch the NFL, you know the significance of that.
Heck yeah.
Just throwing that out there. But yeah, Bottoms was fucking sick. 4.5 for me. Big time. The next day, because of the whole Bottoms thing, I wanted to watch Shiva Baby, which is Emma Seligman. I believe that's her name.
It's Shiva Baby?
Yeah.
I thought it was Shiva Baby.
No, I think it's Shiva Baby because they say Shiva in the movie.
That's probably what it is.
But yeah, the director of Bottoms, Emma Seligman, that's her like previous movie, and it's also with Rachel Sennott. So, and I heard good things about it, and I think I went in with the wrong expectations because I was coming off Bottoms, which was hysterical, and I was expecting more of that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It has some funny moments, but it's more like an Uncut Gems style movie.
Oh.
With like anxiety inducing and like things building up and like you know, like building up to this climax moment, and it just wasn't really what I was expecting. Not that it was bad. It was actually really well made, and
they pulled the old switcheroo on you.
Yeah, it's just I guess I just wasn't in the right mood for it. So it didn't really like I didn't love it. I gave it a 3.
Okay.
But I could see like you watching it in a different mood and saying like, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So just throwing that out there. And then that same day, I rewatched Blade Runner 2049 because I'm a cool guy.
That's awesome.
I had just watched Blade Runner a few days earlier and wanted to refresh the old dome on 2049. Still awesome. Still a masterpiece. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's possibly the most beautifully shot movie ever.
Yeah.
Great performances, especially by my husband.
Oh, the old Ryan guy. Yeah. I
don't even like. What do you say about a movie so
you don't know where to start?
Fucking perfect.
I
don't have all day to sit here and gush about it.
Yeah, it really blew me away when I first watched 2049.
Yeah, it's
because I think I skipped watching it in theaters because like it looked awesome, so I wanted to watch it, but I was like, I haven't seen Blade Runner, so I don't want to watch it.
Dude, the twist, I guess what you would call it, like caught me so off guard.
Yeah.
It's sort of like an anti-twist.
Yeah, it is.
Without spoiling anything, it's like we're so accustomed to like these big Hollywood twists of like, oh, this guy's this guy's son, and this guy's he's a descendant of this guy, and it's like, what if no? Like what if he's Joe?
What if you're just an average Joe?
Exactly. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. 5-star, top 10 of all time. Fuck you. I mean that's we don't have time to go into it. Maybe one day we'll,
just do a full.
When Dune 2 comes out, we'll do a Denis episode, and
that might be the longest episode we've ever done.
Yeah, yeah. I could talk for hours about each one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll dive deep into that one day. A couple of days after that, I watched Batman Forever, which we talked somewhat about on the Batman episode. There's a lot of Batman movies on here.
That really fed
which
into
I probably
the Batman
should just
episode.
skip, but no.
Quick recap.
Yeah, quick recap. Watched Batman Forever, gave that a 3. Better than I thought. And shout out to Joel Schumacher, because it's not his fault. Studio interference.
We all love Joel.
Next day I watched Batman Mask of the Phantasm, 4-star.
Fantastic.
Banger. Next day after that, did my first watch party with the boys, and I watched the Batman.
How'd that go?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah. Pretty good movie.
You didn't have any.
Not
bad. It kept you entertained.
Yeah, I mean it's all right. It passed the time.
Yeah. Somewhat of a fan.
Yeah. Give or take. After that, Under the Red Hood.
Of course.
Fucking awesome. The climax of that movie is one of the best scenes of Batman I've ever seen in my life. It is so fucking good.
I think Red Hood's one of the most recent Batman characters that's like I've really enjoyed their arc. Like everything they're about is.
I'd like
awesome.
to dive into the comics and like learn the like all the Robins and all their story arcs and everything, because really interesting stuff. Oh, speaking of that, I bought Batman Dark Victory, which is the sequel to Long Halloween, and it introduces Robin. It's like a Robin origin story, and apparently Matt Reeves is adapting, like taking a lot of inspiration from that graphic novel to introduce his Robin, which is Dick Grayson. So I'm reading it because Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
I mean,
if Matt
like,
says that's what he's doing, then it's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I bought that. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to.
Heck yeah.
So yeah. Nun II, stinker.
Who could have
Almost fell
predicted
asleep.
this?
That was bad. That was bad news.
Yeah.
I gave it a 2. Like it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's cliche.
It's just
occasional cool jump scares, but like I feel like the coolest scare was the newspaper one, and it kind of got ruined because it like went on too long, and it kind of lost all of its potential.
Yeah. For some reason, this wasn't my choice, but I watched The Nun in preparation for The Nun II.
Yeah, that was. I don't know why you did that.
Not my choice, but it happened. And watching that and watching The Nun II, it's really bizarre because I'll see like this could be really cool, and then they will just start it and then do the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene in The Nun where she's like floating down this old like Victorian castle arched hallway, and like candles are blown out beside her as she's like floating down. I was like, oh dude, this is gonna be creepy if she like slowly rides up and she slowly starts appearing. Mm-hmm. But instead it cuts away and then cuts back and then she's gone, which is half these movies are them teasing the nun being somewhere and then cutting away and then cutting back and the nun being gone. Mm-hmm. And then you have to wait another couple of like sections before she pops up again and then actually does the scare. Because she could be there. She's not there. Like just fucking man up, do it.
Those movies stink.
Yeah,
that's all this is. The Conjuring universe is nothing without King Juan, and that's the bottom line. The only like Conjuring universe movie that I think is good that wasn't directed by James Wan is Annabelle Creation, which was directed by David F. Sandberg, director of Shazam. But he made good movies before that. I like Annabelle Creation. That was pretty solid.
I've only seen it once, but I remember being like, I'll tell you what I remember is I don't remember anything from it.
Well, yeah, the Conjuring 1 and 2 directed by King Juan are like like head and shoulders above the rest. But Creation isn't bad. Like Creation's a completely fine horror movie, and then the rest are kind of all stinky.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then the next day, I watched the whole Dark Knight trilogy in theaters. Best day of my life.
Yep.
We talked enough about the trilogy last week. If you want to hear
that
thoughts
was
about that, but
a lot of our focus.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a great day for me. And then I watched Boyhood, and this was my rec for the week. I got recommended it.
Yeah. Sounds like you kind of got done dirty by whoever recommended it.
Yeah. So
it probably ruined your week.
Here's the thing with Boyhood. It was just, first off, I loved it. I gave it a 5-star. I think it's incredible. But it just made me depressed because I explained this to Carl before, but like seeing a kid grow up in 3 hours, seeing him go from a kid in like first grade to going to college is a very unnatural thing to experience in 3 hours. That was 12 years of someone's life. And seeing 12 years of someone's life go by in 3 hours makes you think about your life and how fast your life is moving and how, like how scary time is, and it just made me feel weird and like sort of down.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a testament to how good the movie is. Because if you don't know, Boyhood was filmed over a 12-year period. So they started shooting in 2002, and it was released in 2014. So every year they got back together and like filmed a couple scenes and pieced it all together. And yeah, I thought it was great. I love how it isn't Hollywoodized. I was telling Carl the other day, it doesn't build up to some like Goodwill Hunting, it's not your fault scene. There isn't some big like climax it's building up to. It's just a kid growing up, and that's all it is. And if you can appreciate that, then you're gonna love it. And some people might watch it and say that's boring. Like, why did I just watch that? Nothing really happened. But I think being able to capture a kid growing up, like, with this family that isn't real, like these are actors, and you're bringing them together every year and like creating the illusion that this is a real family growing up. Like I just thought it was incredible. So yeah, I'd recommend it to everybody. I think it's great.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah,
but it does sound extremely depressing. I had a very similar experience when I watched the movie Jack with Robin Williams. Not a good movie.
Yeah,
but he's aging rapidly in the movie, and like by the time he graduates fucking elementary school, he's like 97 years old. And I was watching that and I was like 13, and I was like, fuck dude, I'm gonna like be an old man and die one day.
Yeah, I
didn't sleep that night. I was 13.
Yeah, I try not to think about that stuff, 'cause it can do bad things to you if you think about how we're all gonna die and nothing means anything. Anyways,
but anyways, back to Batman.
Yeah, so but yeah, I said Boyhood like kind of made me down for a while, and just to preface, like not much really sad happens in the movie. It's not like it's like Manchester by the Sea or something that is like designed to make you sad.
It just puts things
it's
in
really not
perspective.
Supposed to make you sad. I don't think. I guess it's supposed to just be like a heartwarming coming of age story, but for my personal experience was it made me sad because it made me think about my life. So take that how you will. Everyone won't have the same experience with it.
Yeah.
Then the next day, my other rec was Funny Games.
What did you think about Funny Games? Because I was worried about watching Funny Games.
I didn't like it.
Whoa.
Very, very hot take with Funny Games. I actually kind of hated it.
Holy cow.
It's a classic. People love it. I looked down my Letterboxd friends list, and I couldn't find anything lower than a 3. And even a 3 was like rare. Everything was like 4s and 4.5s.
Where'd it land at?
I gave it a
you?
1.
Oh my god.
I kind of fucking hated it.
I was worried whenever like I see the picture of it. It looks cool. It's got a cool name. But like I was worried that the movie would basically be like torture porn. Like, just a family being tormented by intruders, and like I don't care about that. I don't want to watch that.
So how much do you want me to say about it?
If you hated it, I'm probably gonna hate it.
So you don't think you're gonna watch it?
I don't.
So I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but I'm gonna
you can
say like why people like it and why I hate it.
Even if you told me the whole plot right now, if I still wanted to watch it, I would watch it.
Yeah. So basically, the idea of the movie is there's this family at this vacation home. They're rich, and they're taking a vacation at this lake house or whatever. And these kids show up and start fucking with them, and like they break the dad's knee so he can't like run or escape or anything, and they just start fucking with him. They tell the mom like take off her clothes, and the kid escapes. Like basically it's sort of like on the surface it's sort of like a home invasion movie, but there's like weird times where they break the fourth wall, and the characters tormenting them, like the two bad guys, like look into the camera and wink at you. And it's like it doesn't add anything to me. Like there's times where breaking the fourth wall like can be really funny, or it can be really significant to the story, and it's like it felt out of place. It didn't feel like it meant anything in the narrative. And then the other thing is, it's a movie that like teases violence and teases like torture porn or whatever, but whenever there's violence, they cut away and they don't show it. Like there's an entire scene of a guy making a sandwich, and you hear the guy in the other room like beating the family like to shit with like a pipe, and you don't see any of it. You just hear it while this guy's making a sandwich. So that was like, it's like a big fuck you from the director, and he's saying, look at how much you guys love seeing violence in movies, so I'm gonna make you think you're watching a movie about violence, and then you don't get to see any of it. That was his goal. And that's not why I hate the movie. It's not like, oh, I wanted to see torture and I didn't see it. That's not at all why I hate the movie. I think that that's like an interesting idea, like to sort of point a finger at the viewer and say like, we have a problem with our fascination with violence in movies. I just thought it was super fucking boring. That's my problem with it. I think it's boring. I don't like the characters. The two villains of the movie, you don't ever learn their motive. They just show up at houses and do this. At the end of the movie, like at the beginning of the movie, he gets into their house by telling them that he's their neighbor and his mom asked to borrow eggs. And that's how they let him into the house. They're like, oh, it's just a sweet little boy. He wants some eggs. And then the end of the movie is them going to another house and asking for eggs. So they just, I won't say what happens to the first family. You can probably guess, but
Nothing good.
yeah, nothing good. It wasn't sunshine and rainbows for that family, but they just go to another house.
Those
and that's
guys
the end
were
of the
being
movie.
real jerks.
Yeah, and that's the end of the movie. And it's like, you don't know their motive. You don't really know anything. They just tortured this family for an hour and a half, and I was bored out of my mind. So that's my experience with it.
You've seen The Strangers, right?
Yeah. I don't remember a lot. I want to rewatch it. I'm going to rewatch it this Halloween.
Well, I've only seen it once, and it was a long time ago. But from what you described to me, Funny Games is basically The Strangers. Obviously not the fourth wall stuff. The Strangers is more of like a normal movie. But no, I was worried about watching Funny Games because I didn't want to like. I mean, it kind of sounds like ridiculous, but like we started ever since we started like the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, this could be cool of like a detective uncovering evidence on like a serial killer that's been going on the radar the whole time. But like that whole movie, it seemed didn't
there
finish
wasn't
it.
a story.
Yeah, I didn't finish it, but it just seemed like playing tapes of a guy that was torturing and killing people, and I just don't want to see that.
It felt like the director just like had a fetish for that type of stuff and wanted to make a movie, so he had an excuse to like have that content in the movie because there was no story happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can stomach like watching these types of videos in a movie if like the story's good and I'm invested, and that wasn't happening.
Yeah, and I get it's a movie. It's not real, but like I still don't want to like see that even like portrayed.
I don't, yeah. But like I said, if it's a great movie, I'll stomach it, and I'll
like
say
in
like
Perfect,
this is gross, but
in what is it? Perfect Blue? No.
You're talking about Audition, right?
Not Audition. The anime movie we watched.
Perfect Blue.
It's Perfect Blue.
I mean, I don't know what movie you're referencing. It is an anime movie.
The anime movie where the girl that goes crazy, she tries to be an actress.
Yeah, Perfect
Yeah,
Blue.
like when they're doing the
the club scene.
The club scene, I was like, it's an anime. I was uncomfortable like when I was watching that happen.
Yeah.
And they're acting in the movie. Mm-hmm. And it's an anime. So like it's double time not real, and I was still uncomfortable like watching that.
But it does feel like it had a purpose.
Yeah,
so it doesn't upset you.
That fed into the story.
Yeah.
But like just like my level of like, I don't want to see these horrible things happen to people, even though it's fake. But if it feeds into something, I get it.
Yeah.
I'll travel that road with you. Yeah.
Like Sinister, the home videos they watch are fucked up as shit.
Yeah.
But the narrative is so good that it keeps you invested in it. It feels like you're getting rewarded for watching them.
Exactly.
But yeah, what's funny is the guy who made Funny Games is foreign. He's like German Australian, and that movie is like foreign. I don't know what language they're speaking, but they're all speaking different language. And then he remade his own movie in America.
Oh shit.
So there's another Funny Games directed by the original director with like American actors, which is odd. Why? Like I've never heard of that. Yeah. American remakes happen all the time, but by the same director who made the original. Like why would,
or even just like dub it.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah,
like you already made that movie once and people love it. Why? I guess maybe they just offered him a ton of money.
Unless it's different. Maybe he did. Like
no, they said it's like my friends that have seen both said it's exactly the same.
Oh.
The only differences are like the performances are slightly different, and that's it. So yeah, I'm not watching the remake because God knows I'll hate that one. After that, I watched Spider-Man.
Hell yeah!
Just felt
I
like
remember walking into you watching that. I was like, hell yeah!
Yeah, we just nodded at each other. Yeah,
like you're doing a cool thing.
Respect.
Yeah.
I was just in the mood. I don't know. I think I saw a video on TikTok, like a clip, and just made me want to watch it.
Sometimes you need some Sam in you.
Yeah, you just need a little Sammy. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I gave it a 4.5. Love Willem Dafoe as the villain, and I wanted to bring this up.
I'm somewhat of a scientist myself.
I wanted to bring this up. So there's a moment kind of late in the movie when Norman's in his house and his mask is talking to him, like the goblin persona is talking to him and saying he needs to kill Peter, and it cuts to Norman on his like leaning on his mantle, and he goes, "I can't." I'm telling you,
I know exactly.
It probably
what
doesn't
you're
sound
talking
funny
about.
me reenacting it. Go watch the shit right now. It is so, like the body language of him doing it too.
Yeah.
Is so funny.
He's standing there with his ass out. I can't.
It was like you could tell it was dubbed over, but they made it way too quiet. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, I love Goblin's lines. I like his dialogue in the movies. Yeah. Really cool. That speech he gives to him on the rooftop. He's like, they found you amusing for a while, the people of this city, but the only thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fall, fail, die trying. I'm just like, that's fucking sick. Yeah. And then in the next scene, Peter sees like newspapers of everyone turning on him, everyone turning on Spider-Man, and it's like he was kind of spitting.
The Goblin was is a really underappreciated villain.
Yeah. Everyone always says Spider-Man 2 is like a lot better than 1. I think they're about the same.
I'm right there with you. I don't see like a massive difference in 2 and 1. I really like them both.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick one, probably 2, because I like the whole him losing his powers thing.
Yeah.
But
I also like the at least we get the toaster. I really like that.
Yeah. And the action in 2's better. Like the train scene is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Crazy
Doc Ock steals a bunch of bags of gold coins from the bank,
Scrooge
McDuck style.
That's absurd. Like why did they do that?
He genuinely had burlap sacks with a dollar symbol on them.
Dude, I think it was. I think it might have been a reference to the comics, because I think Doc Ock in the comics like is known for stealing like bags of gold like that. That's crazy. Like every time I watch that movie, I'm like, why is he stealing doubloons right now?
Dude, it's very comic booky though. It works.
Yeah,
but it's
funny.
Fucking hilarious.
And then the day after that, we watched No One Will Save You.
We did watch that.
I'm
excited to hear what you.
It was new, and everyone was talking about it. Chris Stuckman uploaded a review, and he doesn't. Whenever you see him post a review, you know it's positive because he's a director now, so he doesn't shit on movies. Mm-hmm. So anytime he releases a review, it's like to say something good about it. So I was like, we'll check it out. We'll see what's going on, and it's an alien invasion movie, which you know from the trailer. And I thought it was interesting at first, but in my opinion, it's about like 90 minutes of an alien like home invasion, cat mouse game, her trying to survive and not get taken by these aliens. And then in the last 10 minutes, they crammed in a bunch of like metaphorical shit. But by then, they had already lost me. And I was already so tired of like the gimmick of her trying to not get captured by aliens that I was like, I just kind of wanted it to end. So I think it should have been reworked a little bit to where like throughout the movie she was having visions, or she was like they layer it in, you know, evenly throughout the movie instead of like cramming it all in at the end. I think that would have worked better. But what'd you think?
I thought it was really cool. I think there's more about it that I like than I don't like, surprisingly. I thought it was really cool that we got traditional
big head,
big eye, gray aliens, like lanky
bunch
aliens.
Of paws.
Yeah, like when you think of alien, it's what you think of.
Yeah.
But they were able to kind of put their own twist on it with the weird like hand feet. That was cool.
That was cool. Their feet were sick.
The no dialogue was cool.
Yeah, we were like an hour into the movie, and I was like, I leaned over to y'all, and I was like, they haven't said anything this whole time.
Yeah.
They're doing like a no dialogue thing. Then they ruin it at the end, and she talks. So it could have been known as like the silent film, like the 2023 alien invasion silent film. That's crazy. Like just saying those words together would make people watch it, and then you ruin it. It's like what was the other movie? Sisu.
Yeah.
Like Sisu was a silent film for 98% of it, and then the last scene in the movie he talks.
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck are you doing? Like you ruined this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the visuals were great. Like it seemed like
awesome.
It was low budget, but it didn't look low budget.
Yeah.
Like I just assumed it was low budget because I hadn't heard of it and it was a Hulu original, but like it looked really good.
Yeah, I will say there was a couple times where the visuals on the aliens came across goofy instead of like scary. They showed them too much. I do think they showed them too much, and there was like a couple of like, there's different aliens. There's not just one type of alien.
Yeah, they all have different like archetypes.
Yeah, so there's a couple like reveals of these other different types. It's like this could be like genuinely creepy and like really make you feel uneasy, but they'd have them do something weird that was like, what the fuck? Dude?
They put them in broad daylight. And you can see every little like detail on their skin, and like some shots were like the initial shot where we first see them when she's on the stairs and she's looking through the glass, like that sequence was great. He was covered, like the alien was covered, and you can't really see much, and you can hear his footsteps, and that was all great. And then as the movie went on, we just saw too much, and it's sort of like the Jaws effect. Like Jaws is scarier because of how little we see him. Yeah, or Bruce or whatever you want to call
Bruce. But I do agree the movie felt like it ended like 9 times.
Dude, it had
it's an hour and a half.
Illness.
It's an hour and a half, but it feels way longer than that because like every time I'm like, this is it. This is them wrapping it up, and they'd be like, no, here we go.
There was like, no joke, there were like 4 endings. Yeah. Like 4 moments where I was like, okay, it's over now.
And I feel like if they had cut it at any of the other 4 endings, I would have liked it more. Mm-hmm. But I do think they tried to cram too much into it towards the end, and I think it should have wrapped up. It sounds crazy because it's only an hour and a half, but either expand more on like her running from aliens, or aliens like initially like making like having sightings of them, anything except for like continuing on further than what they did, because there's a lot of weird stuff towards the very end. It seems like they ramped up the alien part to like 11 at the end.
It just felt so uneven because like the beginning of the movie they set up these emotional beats and arcs with like, it seems like there's someone who passed away that was close to her, and they set this stuff up and then ignore it for 90 minutes and just have a straightforward alien invasion, try to stay alive movie, and then in the last 10 minutes they bring it back up and try to make it full circle. And I was like, I honestly forgot about all this shit. Like I haven't heard anything about this since the beginning of the movie, and it just felt lazy. It was like they completely forgot about it and pushed it to the side until they needed it at the end.
Yeah, even then, it felt like it didn't really do anything.
Yeah, because it was. I think they wanted you to kind of piece it together, and for better movies, I would, but I don't really want to spend the time to like rewatch it and try to figure out the symbolism and stuff because it doesn't really interest me. So.
But overall, really cool.
Pretty cool.
I thought it was really cool.
I gave it a 2.5. I think it's fine, but nothing crazy. I wouldn't rewatch it, and I probably wouldn't like recommend it to people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's. Did you have any solo watches or?
I watched something today.
Oh.
I might have cheated on you a little bit.
Midnight Mass?
No.
Oh.
I watched Ip Man.
Oh wow, you did cheat on me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't my choice. I just happened to get in a car and Ip Man was playing.
Wow.
And I want to watch it again right now.
You think you know somebody, and he watches Ip Man without you,
dude.
So.
It's fucking awesome. Dude, it's so awesome, dude. I want to watch it. I want to watch it again. I didn't rate it or anything, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I watched it on a fucking phone like an idiot. Yeah. But I'm excited to watch it again how it's supposed to be watched on a large screen.
Like cinema.
Maybe I'm eating something delicious
Perhaps.
At the time.
Yeah.
And
perhaps some corn and like a monster.
Maybe an ice cream afterwards.
Maybe chocolate milk.
Maybe regular milk.
Maybe eggnog.
Oh my god, dude! You're getting me going.
You're going. Yeah, I gotta calm down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Classic martial arts.
I'm
movie.
anticipating it.
Yeah.
Whenever I get to it. But that's it.
Yeah.
For your watch list. All right. So.
Oh, Over the Garden Wall. Started a couple episodes of that.
I've watched 4 episodes of Over the Garden Wall.
What do you think about it? Because I've finished it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I wanted something. It was Sunday. I think it was. No, Saturday. It was Saturday, and like I was just tired, and I wanted to like kind of not take a nap, but just like get in bed and like hang out. But I wanted to watch something like fall-ish, like autumn-y. And
there's nothing better.
Yeah, and it just has the vibes. So I put it on, and it's really cool.
Yeah,
it's funny and it's got a cool
Over
atmosphere.
the Garden Wall.
I like Elijah Wood, so I'm gonna finish it probably tomorrow or whenever.
Yeah,
but it's cool.
It's a great little miniseries. I like the music. I like the setting. I like the characters.
Yeah,
just really cool stuff.
Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and the Panthers fucking suck. If anybody watches football,
yeah,
we smell. That's the bottom line here. We don't have to get too deep into it. We're 0-3. Woo! Yeah. Our quarterback's hurt, and it's looking bad. It's like everyone's getting hurt. Our quarterback's hurt. Our offensive line is hurt. Fucking our cornerback 1 is hurt. Our linebacker 1 is hurt. Now our safety's hurt. It's bad news. And we don't have our pick because we gave up our pick for our quarterback that's hurt.
Woo! Looking a little grim for the old Panthers.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a lot of movies this week to try to take my mind off of it because holy fuck,
you can't be here right now.
We are in the toilet right now in Carolina. But yeah, this episode we're gonna talk about some underrated sci-fi movies in preparation for the creator.
Yeah.
Not like a ranking, no, numbers 1 through 10. Fuck all that noise.
This is just
a list of things that come to mind.
We all need to talk about these movies more than we do.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Just off the top of the dome, movies that we think isn't talked about enough in the sci-fi genre.
I'm excited to see what you picked.
And we have how many hot takes did you end up with? Because I've got 2 hot takes related to science fiction.
I didn't really settle on one. I have like a couple I could talk about.
You think we should do them now before the films?
We can do them now. I guess I'm gonna feed off of one of yours pretty hard.
Okay, so we'll just start off with the hot takes. I'll start off with mine, and this is the one that I said I don't even know if it's a hot take. It might be a steaming cold take. Might be fucking freezing. But Denis Villeneuve's the best science fiction filmmaker of all time. How does that tickle your insides? Because a lot of people would say, just off of 2001, they'd say Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Which I think is nonsense.
I don't think that's...
Because I think
that's
Denis
not
made 3 movies better than 2001 in the science fiction genre. Yeah. Maybe that's a hot take in its own thing, in its own right, but...
Yeah, the only person I can think of
James Cameron.
Big competition is Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan, Interstellar, Inception, Tenet.
Technically,
The Prestige.
The Prestige, technically, yeah. Technically, superhero movies are sci-fi.
There's nothing in the Dark Knight trilogy that's like science fiction to me. Like, there's some technology that's a
lot
wonky.
Of his vehicles are completely sci-fi.
I guess, but
like the bat is like cannot exist in reality.
I guess,
I know of.
But like to me, it's just a different looking helicopter. Like it's not anything crazy.
At the time, the fusion reactor that he built was sci-fi.
I guess like it's a technicality, but I wouldn't really think
of those. I
don't
really think of. I put superhero movies in their own category.
I do too.
So I don't like. I know technically they're sci-fi, but I don't really put them in. When I'm thinking sci-fi, that's not what I'm thinking of. Yeah, they're too big now. When they were more of a niche like thing, and you had a couple here and there, now it's way too big of a thing to put in there. Yeah. So I'd say the only competition you have is Nolan.
Well, Ridley Scott, yeah.
I
mean, Alien and Blade Runner can't really beat
can't
that.
Argue, yeah.
But yeah, that's my hot take. I don't even know if it's hot, but fuck it.
No.
My real hot take is that the Star Wars franchise blows.
I agree 100%. So I was digging through my letterbox to see like what do I hate on here that most people like. There's a lot of stuff, but it's all like I hate the Master.
Right.
But I feel like you could probably find a lot of people like me that don't like the Master.
I mean, fucking, I can't.
Really?
I get scolded for hating the Master.
Dude, the Master is so boring.
They fucking shit on me 24/7 for hating the Master.
But there are so many Star Wars fans, and like if you really get down to brass tacks, the majority of them are bad.
There's how many now? There's 9 original like Skywalker saga movies. And then there's Rogue One, and then there's Solo, and then there's 3 seasons of The Mandalorian. There's Ahsoka now. There's Obi-Wan. So, just not even getting into the shows, just the movies. There's 10 movies, and I'd say, being generous, 4 of them are good. The original trilogy and Rogue One.
Yeah.
Because on, like, I don't even really like Return of the Jedi that much. So, like, I'm kind of being nice by even saying 4 of them are good. That's not a good franchise if you have 10 movies and 30% of them are good.
Yeah.
Like, think about Harry Potter. I'm not even the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world. And every single one of those movies, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's... So, we just watched them. I gave Half-Blood Prince a 2, and I gave Deathly Hallows Part 1 a 2.5. So, those are the only 2 that I have, like, below, a 3.
Yeah.
So, what, 7? Is there 8 movies?
There's 8 movies.
Yeah, 8 movies. So, 6 of the 8 are, like, good movies.
Yeah.
That's a good franchise right there.
Yeah, I agree with that. You have 9... and at most 4 of them are good.
Yeah, like that's... I don't know. I think the world of Star Wars is cool, and there's some cool things they could do, but I think they've went on with the Skywalker saga for way too long. I think that they need to... Yeah. They need to take the ideology of Star Wars, say, we'll use the Force, we'll use lightsabers, we'll use Jedis and Knights and stuff. Just go off to a different time period and just start something new. Don't reference Luke Skywalker. Don't reference Darth Vader. Just start new characters and go crazy.
Yeah, I just watched an excellent video of a guy talking about basically the Star Wars problem. And it's like they have all the tools at their disposal. They have one of the most rabid fan bases ever. Anything they do, people get excited about. He was talking about when they did the Force Awakens, people dressing up as Rey and Kylo Ren before the movie even came out.
Their mind about
before the movie came out, they were dressing up like them, and like they were instant. People were like, "I fucking love these characters." You don't know anything
even
about
who they
them.
are yet, and I'm dressing up as them.
So you can instantly make a character people are gonna love it because they love Star Wars, and they try like anytime something like catches that people like, they're like, "Oh, it's also part of the trilogy that we did fucking 40 years ago."
Yeah. It's like they have this great world that they could play in, but they think that people want more of the original trilogy. And it's like, fuck the original trilogy. Like, that was great. That was cool. Everyone loves it. Move on.
Yeah.
Sort of like, I know it's different because these are adaptations, but like how, and this isn't a great example either because no one really likes them, but how you have Lord of the Rings and then you have The Hobbit, and The Hobbit, like, doesn't really have anything to do with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And you're not trying to really feed off of that, and you're trying to do your own thing. Like I said, not a great example because no one really likes those.
I'll tell you what a great example is. The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
They created a new character.
But then they soiled that.
That's the thing. It caught steam, and they were like, well, let's bring in all
Skywalker!
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like this. Oh, Skywalker, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like,
the reason I love
they lose their shit,
was
and they're like,
it was a standalone thing, and it was just like this cool little outlaw protecting this kid, and done.
Yep. And they're like, everything's got to be connected. We got to bring in Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Luke Skywalker,
Yeah,
everybody.
It's like, I don't. Now you lost me again.
It was a tight, confined story. This father-son dynamic, and they fucked it up.
I will say this: people swear by Andor.
I've heard that. I've heard that for sure.
Apparently, it's like a real show, and it's like, I think it could be connected to. I think it's connected to Rogue One, which is connected to A New Hope, but from what I hear, it's like not really part of the Skywalker saga, and it's like well made, and it's shot, where it doesn't look like green screens. It's actually shot well, and the performances are good, and the writing's good. So I'll throw it out there. We haven't seen that.
If it plays off of Rogue One, I could see it being good.
Yeah. Before people start messaging me and saying, it's like an Andor.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good. I believe you, and I'll get to it. I don't have Disney Plus right now, so I just... At some point I'll watch it, and I'm sure it's going to be great. I'll just say that.
But the video I watched of the guy, he was like, I think he thought Solo was a good movie, but the problem is they made it Han Solo, and he was like, if you make this character some random guy, it'd be a good Star Wars heist movie. Mm-hmm. And then it's just a story that happens, and that's
who the fuck asked for a Han Solo origin story? No one wants that shit.
Yeah. That's dumb.
God, they don't.
You don't need to see the Kessel Run. You just hear him talk about it, and you're like, "This is cool. This is it."
You just want to hear about how he did it in 12 parsecs.
Yeah. And it sucks because Star Wars created one of my favorite characters ever, Darth Vader, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But Darth Vader is awesome.
Yeah. So that's my hot take. I think the franchise overall is bad, and it's got a couple good movies. And that's it. So you have any hot takes?
To play on the Star Wars thing, Marvel fucking sucks.
That's not a hot
but has always kind of sucked.
What do you mean always?
When we did our Marvel rankings of all the Marvel movies, it really early on I loved them all as they came out. But when you actually really look back and watch them and you think about it, a lot of them are okay at best.
Oh yeah. I mean, when we ranked them, I realized like there's like 42 Marvel movies and shows, I think, and like the top like 6 or 7 I considered like memorable good movies I would revisit.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. You don't think about it, and like it's like hindsight. You don't think about it at the time. Like I watched Iron Man. I watched Iron Man 2. I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. But really, Iron Man 2 isn't good.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 blows. Iron Man 3, directed by Shane Black, so I'm going to give it a rewatch one day just because of Shane.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that there, but people don't like
Right
Iron Man
now,
3 too
my
much.
opinion is that it sucks.
Yeah.
But I could be foolish. I could
Yeah, I
be
mean, I
foolhardy.
just don't... I guess the fact that it's always been bad is like a hot take, but it's honestly a hot take nowadays to say Marvel's good, so...
Yeah, like now it's like obviously everything they're pumping out now sucks, but really even like their whole lineup, people are like, oh, it's not as good as Phase 1, but even in Phase 1, a lot of the solo movies they did, Thor 1 and 2, weren't good. Captain America, the first Avenger, really wasn't that good, boring.
The Hulk was cool, and then they recast him.
Yep,
Awesome.
that happened. You got Iron Man 1, the Avengers, and then Infinity War and Endgame, because Avengers Age of Ultron fucking blew ass.
Yeah. Marvel stinks.
It's like when you really reflect on it, it's like, why the fuck were we up at arms about this?
Because it was a building of a universe which we had never seen before, and now every franchise does it, and now it's not special. So then we go back and we critique it, and we're like, oh,
It's honestly, it's kind of
really
like
that good.
It's kind of poisoned the world now.
Yeah.
Because now we're rooting for stuff to not be connected because of how fucking connected the MCU is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And now they're connecting shit that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So
it's nuts.
That's like in the back of my head, no matter what they say, no matter what James Gunn says, in the back of my head, I have fears that Matt Reeves' Batman movies will be cut off because they're not a part of the bigger universe. And the executives or the fans or whoever will say, like, so it doesn't really matter. So we can stop making them. Like, because Andy Muschietti's making the real Batman movie. So we don't need this other one. Like, I know James Gunn has said it's Elseworlds and, like, it's safe and, like, people love it and he loves it. And, you know, he's going to let Matt Reeves do whatever he wants. But in the back of my head, I have that fear of, like, they're building a ginormous connected universe and then they're having a Batman franchise outside of it, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, if you sit back and think about it, the only reason the Matt Reeves verse is continuing is because the first one was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that's the only reason. Like, first of all, I'm gonna go on a tangent. I'll try not to make it too long, but when you actually think about the Batman being made, what the fuck was DC thinking? Let me tell you this. So, in 2017, Justice League came out in theaters. The Justice League. And, you know, people didn't like it. It didn't get good reception.
Rather poopy.
Zack Snyder was still planning more movies. You know, they were making Aquaman. He was working on the Flash movie. He wanted to do a Cyborg movie, I think. In the middle of the Snyderverse, and in 2017, DC tells Matt Reeves to start writing a Batman movie for a unrelated Batman that isn't Ben Affleck. What the fuck are you thinking? Like,
I thought
in hindsight, I'm glad they did because it gave us the best Batman movie ever fucking made. But what kind of decision is that?
Well, I thought it was more like Ben Affleck was going to write a Batman movie and direct it and like star in it, and that one wound up not working out. Ben Affleck was like, fuck this shit, everyone's harassing me.
I think that
and
was
then
afterwards though. I mean, it maybe
I thought it was like that happened. Ben like didn't want to do it anymore, and they were like, we got to find someone else. And
but then why didn't they recast him and stay in the Snyderverse and just recast him with a new actor?
Well, I think that's what the plan was to keep Ben and then write a new Batman movie because Ben didn't want to do it anymore. And then I think the Snyderverse kind of fell apart.
Dude, yeah, it's like it
Either
makes
way,
no sense. Like, the Batman existing makes no sense.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it.
It was
and then
totally
James Gunn
by
coming
chance.
in and taking over DC, building his own universe, where he's having like he's building a world map, like a DC map of like this is where Metropolis is, and this is where Gotham is, and this is where Bloodhaven is, and Palmyra City, and which is awesome, which is always needed to happen. And he's building this like giant connected universe, and then we just have the fucking Batman off to the side, that he just like has to allow to continue because it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It shouldn't exist. It was a very poor decision by DC to like ever create the Batman. It sounds crazy me saying that, but like from an objective look at them making that decision, it's crazy that it got made. Like, it makes no sense.
A big like collection of mistakes led to
a masterpiece.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I think that's all we got. You don't have any more hot takes, right?
No, it's all normal stuff like Stalker isn't a good and stuff like that.
So yeah, we'll just run through some underrated science fiction movies. We'll probably have some of the same ones, but we'll just go like back and forth. Like,
I don't know. I got pretty wacky with mine.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
We'll just go back and forth. I'll name one, you name one.
Okay.
You know, bros being guys.
Men talk.
My first one, pretty popular movie, so hard to say it's underrated, but I'm going with Tron Legacy.
Ooh.
I think it's underrated because I have it rated higher than most other people, because I gave it a 4.5. I think it's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. I wasn't sold initially on Tron Legacy. I thought it was really good. Wasn't as high up on it as you. I still don't think I am, but it did grow on me after like I watched it and like took a second to think about it.
And it's so fucking cool.
It is really awesome.
Like, it's just escapism. You know, you just turn it on, you hear Daft Punk's score blasting in your ears.
You hear Jeff Bridges go, "The Grid."
Yeah, I mean, I could see, I guess, people not loving it because people don't like Garrett Hedlund's performance as the lead kid. I think
he
he's
didn't
fine.
bother me.
Like,
that's something else too. Daft Punk did a movie score, and
no one
it's
talks
phenomenal.
about that. They're just a band.
Yeah, they're just two guys.
Yeah, and they just randomly did a movie score. Never did it again.
Yeah, and it was tremendous.
Like, imagine fucking like Nickelback does a movie score out of nowhere and then just never does it again.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy. But yeah, it's just vibes off the charts with Tron Legacy. I think the action's cool. The way everything looks.
It looks gorgeous.
Like,
it's awesome.
The way it looks in 2010, like for the time it was made and like the budget in comparison to what you think it would cost to make, like, was pretty. It was a lot at the time, but it seems like it should have cost more. Yeah. I think it was like 170 million, and
it seemed like it would be on a list of like most expensive movies ever made.
Like the technology, it was like a trailblazing movie in terms of the technology they were using, and just looks amazing. And I think it's fun. And there's times where it drags, like in the second to third act. I think there's a lot of times where they're in like Jeff Bridges' house.
Yeah, his dojo.
Yeah, his dojo.
His
and
Mojo
he's talking to
Dojo,
Olivia
Casa
Wilde,
house.
and it's like, okay, like it runs a little too long, but
the big kryptonite of that movie is fucking Zeus.
Zeus, yeah.
God
fuck that
bless,
guy.
dude. Zeus
die in a fucking
is a
pit.
fucking piece of shit.
Yeah,
I hate that
fuck
guy.
him.
Yeah,
all
worst.
the homies hate Zeus. I think wasn't it Seuss?
No way. No way it was that dumb.
I think it might have been. Yeah, he fucking sucks.
Absolutely, easily the worst part about that movie.
Yeah, worse than Jeff Bridges'
Yep.
CGI head.
Yep, absolutely. Because once you're in the video game world, the CGI head doesn't bother me that much.
See, the thing is, like, in another movie, it could have bothered me more, but with that movie specifically, like normal Jeff Bridges looks normal, and then the AI Jeff Bridges looks bad. So it makes sense that version looks bad because it's a video game like character.
Yeah, that's
like it's an evil AI version of Jeff Bridges, so it looks similar to Jeff Bridges, but it looks off.
Exactly.
Like that makes sense. So I can kind of give it a pass.
Yeah. But I don't give Zeus a pass.
No, fuck Zeus.
Is it Zeus?
I looked it up, so it's spelled Zuse. So it is like Zeus, but not like Zeus.
Okay, I got you.
Like Zeus, which is I don't know. It's
enough about Zeus. He's gotten enough
he's
airtime.
gotten way too much airtime. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Moving on. Tron Legacy bangs.
Yeah,
that's shout out to the homies.
One of mine is Upgrade. Again,
It's on my list too.
A pretty popular movie. I feel like in the film world, but average Joe on the street isn't gonna know what the fuck
they don't know what the fuck
Upgrade
this
is.
They also don't know who Lee Winnell is, but the homies do.
Yep.
The Chads do.
Yep.
Because Lee Winnell is the fucking man.
Because Lee is sick.
Yeah. Lee's the homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Upgrade is sick. I watched that earlier this year, and it just like I could watch it again right now.
Yeah,
it's
the
in and out. The pacing is amazing. It's like 90 minutes. You're in and you're out. The action is incredible, and the camera work for the action is some of the most inventive you'll ever see.
Yeah.
The score and the cinematography, like the world building of this futuristic society, and like the car that they were driving at the beginning, and
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
the ending is crazy.
Yeah, the ending's great. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah,
4.5 for me. Fucking love Upgrade.
Yeah,
shout out to Lee Winnell.
Yeah,
I want to know what he's making next.
Shout out to Lee. Shout out to Upgrade.
Yeah, I want to know what he's making next, because I don't think it's like I don't even know if he's announced he's making a movie. But
I think the last thing he gave them the best idea for Insidious. The Red Door.
He wrote the Red Door, or like not wrote, but he did the outline. Like he gave them the story.
Yeah. But I think the MRI thing was his idea, and that's the best part about that movie.
Hell yeah.
Because fuck the Red Door.
Yeah, but I want to see him do more shit because he's awesome. He also directed The Invisible Man, which is also amazing.
Yeah, Invisible Man fucks.
Yeah. My next one is the Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Ooh.
Like I said, popular, not like an unknown franchise, but
not appreciated enough.
Not appreciated enough for what it is. The first one was directed by Rupert Wyatt. Who's that? I don't know. he makes movies, I guess.
I really like the first one.
The first one's good, though. I'm not throwing shade at Rupert. It's just I don't really know who he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first one's good. James Franco got this like, cute, coming of age movie of him like raising Caesar, and then it's really sad when Caesar gets locked up, and
Yeah, obviously it's not as good as the other two, but I feel like Rise especially gets overlooked because the other two are action awesome shit.
Yeah.
Obviously because it was handed over to, an amazing director. Mm-hmm. And he told a great story, but like Rise is still a really good movie.
Yeah, Rise is great. The other two were better. And I was listening to Matt Reeves' episode on the Roger Deakins podcast, and he was talking about how like he made Dawn of the Planet of the Apes right after Cloverfield. And he was like, people probably think about Cloverfield and think it was like, oh, so he had experience with like a blockbuster and working with CGI and working with all this stuff and like working a big production. And he was like, that was not true at all. He was like, making Cloverfield was like making an indie movie, and like they just had someone else put in the CGI later. Like he was like, they asked me to do they asked me to pitch for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and like I gave them a pitch, but like I had no idea what I was doing in terms of making a blockbuster and making a big studio movie, and especially one with like this amount of CGI work. And he was like, I thought it was going to be terrible. Like I didn't think I was prepared at all for something that big. And seeing the movie that he made, like, without him being confident that he could make a good movie is crazy.
Yeah.
Because Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is, like, damn near a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit. It looks so good. Like, the visuals of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it's like in the snow, in the woods, and you've got these new characters like Jason Clarke and Gary Oldman and Koba, and the dynamic between all of them is just really interesting. Like,
Yeah.
the humans that get along with the apes, and then the humans that don't, and the humans are arguing with each other. They're fighting with each other about the apes, and the apes are fighting with each other about the humans. And like, Koba's mad at Caesar for trusting the humans and choosing them, quote unquote, over the apes.
Yeah.
And
That's
Koba, like, he's fucked up, but you understand what he's saying.
Yeah,
He's
Koba
like, you're turning
is
on
a-
your people for these aliens, basically.
Yeah. Koba is a great character
Yeah.
and a great villain.
Yeah. And it's just so many great character dynamics
Yeah.
in that movie that I love, and the action is great. It just looks so good. It sounds so good. The performances are great. Gary Oldman,
Yeah.
shout out the homie.
Well,
Yeah, and then War, I like it a little bit less than Dawn, but like still just amazing.
yeah, I'm right there with you. I like Dawn better. I like the Koba situation, but War, you get Woody Harrelson, more snow.
You get Bad Ape.
You do get Bad Ape.
Shout out to Bad Ape.
Shout out to
That's,
Bad Ape wearing his
If you
hat.
know, you know.
Yeah, wearing his
Bad
hat.
Ape's the homie.
Yeah. No, War is sick. I like that they tied in the Koba flashbacks and War, and they basically did the same thing Batman did with Ra's al Ghul with Koba, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, they and the opening, like the first act of War is great, with like Caesar's like village getting raided by the humans, and like, not going to spoil what happens, but some sad shit happens, and it just makes you so much more. If you weren't already on Caesar's side from Dawn, like, we're fucking boys now. After once you see that part in War, you're like, go fuck those guys up.
Yeah, I'll kill anyone for Caesar.
Yeah. So
Andy Serkis is Caesar too. God.
dude,
all the mocap performances, outstanding.
on. Yeah, I love that trilogy. One of the best like trilogies, really, for me ever.
Yeah.
Like, if I was ranking trilogies, you go Dark Knight, you go Lord of the Rings, you go John Wick's not a trilogy anymore.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah. And then like Apes is like pretty much in there.
Yeah.
Like maybe Guardians close, but like it's pretty much like a top 5 trilogy for me. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah,
and
easily
talking
top
about them
5.
right now makes me want to rewatch them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Planet of the Apes trilogy. That's my picks.
Fuck yeah. My next pick kind of breaks my rule. I know I said that I don't consider superhero movies sci-fi movies, but this one in particular is a lot more on the sci-fi side. Plus, I just wanted to shed some light on it. But Dread is on my list.
Dread. I almost put that on my list.
Dude, it's fucking crazy. I started it a few days ago, and I didn't finish it. But I was like, dude, immediately the world that's being built, the like drug that they use is crazy. It's nuts.
It's funny because like when you watch Dread, it almost feels like some writer got told at work, hey, we need you to write a new Dread movie. We're making a Dread movie, so go write it. And then he was like, fuck, okay. And then he goes home and he's like, you know what? I just want to hang out. I just want to relax, unwind for a little bit. So he puts on The Raid, and then he's like, wait a second.
Yeah, it is The Raid.
He was like, I've got an idea, because it's Dread in The Raid. That's what Dread is.
Let me
I'm
pitch
just
this.
getting silly for a second. Let's just think about this for a second.
That's just like the way the cookie crumbled. Yeah, it is almost exactly the same as the Raid, but the sci-fi elements, his little gun that he uses, the dreads.
Carl Urban is great. Like his
oh my
delivery
God.
and God, I wish he'd do more like comic book.
Yeah.
Movies.
And then his partner has like can read people's minds, but they do it in this super like hyper stylized way when she touches someone and like reads them, and it's like nuts. It's crazy. And then the effects that change when people are drugged up on, what do they call it?
I don't remember.
I think they call it like slow or something like that because it slows down time. And people like do a hit of that, and then Dredd breaks in and is like breaching a room, and you see like bullets flying like super slow-mo. Just super stylish, super sick movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while, and I only saw it once, so I don't remember a ton, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
when I
big
watched
time
it.
sleeper movie for sure.
My next pickup is Snowpiercer.
Ooh, I almost put Snowpiercer on my list.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The homie Bong.
Yep.
Everybody knows him. Household name. I mean, you don't need me to tell you who Bong is. But yeah, really cool, like one location, like claustrophobic thriller, but also set in the future, and it like takes place in a world where the world has like frozen over, and everyone on Earth is dead except for the people on the train. At least that's
what you're led to believe.
That's what you're supposed to think.
Yeah.
Not saying that there's some twist where it's not real, but honestly, I don't remember if it ends up being like the case or not. But like, there's this cool scene where someone gets punished for like stealing, and they open up like a little hole in the side of the train and make the guy stick his arm out, and it freezes, and then they bring him back in, and they shatter his arm into pieces because it's frozen.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's just such a cool, like, futuristic way to punish someone while using the environment around you. Just so neat.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a cool idea.
Everything they do, like, when you watch that, they do so much cool shit. Mm-hmm. Like, even just trying to get from the
back of the train.
Yeah, there's a social hierarchy. If you're at the front of the train, you're rich and you're wealthy.
Yeah.
And if you're at the back of the train, you're poor.
And you eat the
like
protein
just
bars that look like poop.
Yeah, you eat the jellos that they give you. But just their like junk stick that they built.
Yeah.
To like run towards the front of the train to try and prop the doors open. Yeah. That was a cool idea.
Yeah.
Like all that shit was awesome.
And then the crazy like action sequence with the fish.
Yeah, when
what did they do with the fish?
They open this door, and they're like trying to advance to the train, and there's a bunch of guys with executioner hoods on. They look absolutely insane, and the guy in the very front holds up a fucking big ass fish, and like stabs his knife into it, and he hands it to everyone, and everyone stabs the fish, and then they start fighting.
Gotta stab the fish.
Everyone stops because the New Year happens. They cross this bridge. That means a year's gone by. And then they start fighting, and a guy slips on the fish.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
I can barely
with the
remember,
fish.
but I just remembered like the big fish scene.
Yeah,
it stuck out in my head. Yeah, like a good performance from Chris Evans.
Yeah,
I know, crazy. Not that he's bad, but he plays the same role in everything. So it's like,
he's usually just like a charming
how
guy.
we make fun of The Rock for like playing the same guy. But yeah, Chris Evans doing like something kind of different, which is nice. So yeah, it's awesome. It's one of my picks.
Yeah, I actually didn't put that one because I figured you were going to put that one.
Yep.
I have Looper on my list.
Almost put that on my list.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah,
Looper. Big Looper guy.
Huh?
Big Looper guy.
Yeah, Looper is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I didn't think it was going to be good when I watched it, and I watched it and I was like, "Holy shit, that was amazing."
Yeah.
I fuck with Looper a lot.
Directed by Rian Johnson.
Yep. I mean,
creator of Star Wars: The Last Jedi and Knives Out and Glass Onion and Brick.
Yeah. What else do you want?
Director of Fly on Breaking Bad.
Oh my! The best episode.
The best episode of Breaking Bad, directed by Rian Johnson. Yeah, Looper's awesome.
Yeah.
The effect that they use for like when people disappear is like it's so jarring. It's so like It feels like if like time travel was real, that's how it would look.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be some big portal that opens with like a cool animation. It'd just be like the guy disappears.
Yeah, you just get zapped.
Yeah, it looks so cool to me
Yeah.
for some reason. One thing that isn't cool is that they made Joseph Gordon-Levitt wear contacts so he looked like Bruce Willis, because it just looks weird. He looks really odd in the movie. And I think they might have like given him like prosthetics to like reshape his face a little bit.
Yeah,
It
I
looks
think they
weird.
did.
They should
But
not have done that.
There's like enough of an age gap between Joe Gord and
Yeah.
Bruce Willis that
You can just
like,
buy it.
he's just super fucking old.
Yeah. Maybe
Like-
his eyes got brown when he got
Like
old.
I
Who
guess I like make them wear contacts and have them both have the same color eyes.
knows? Or do a better job casting. I don't know. I mean,
Well, hey, I like Joe Gord.
I like both of them, but
Yeah.
that just saying two actors are good doesn't mean they're correctly cast.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
If you're playing an older version of a character and an older version of that character, it'd probably be a good idea to get two people that look alike.
Yeah.
Because guess who doesn't look alike? Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So it's either like just don't even mention that they don't look like the same person and just ignore it,
Yeah.
or cast someone better, because making more contacts and like making more prosthetics to look like Bruce Willis is just odd.
Yeah.
It just does not look right.
Yeah. But the whole world they create of loopers existing, this sci-fi like mob basically that goes on and sends people back in time to be
Yeah.
killed. I liked the TK stuff with people having the Force somehow.
Yeah.
Love the characters. Love Bruce Willis. Love
Paul
Joe
Dano,
Gord. Paul
Emily Blunt.
Dano. Emily Blunt. They're all great.
Yeah.
And the plot to it is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Just really tight.
Just check it out.
Really, yeah.
We don't want to spoil anything,
Yeah.
but it's really interesting movie.
Hell
I'd
yeah.
be surprised if someone watched Looper and was like, that was stinky.
Yeah.
Which I think, I'm going to double check. I think there are people that don't like Looper. They could just be Last Jedi haters and they just hate Rian Johnson, so they don't want to admit his other movies are good.
It's all right, man. Some people didn't pass the first grade.
Okay. The lowest on my friends list is a 3. So no crazy haters of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reassess your life and make the right decisions. That's all.
Just be a better person.
Yeah.
All right, and my next one is Edge of Tomorrow.
Ooh, that was another one I figured you'd put on your list.
Yep.
And I was like, I'll skip it and get something else.
Yep, I've seen it once. A lot of these movies I've only seen once, so I can't like tell you a ton because I haven't seen them recently. But it's Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. It's like Groundhog Day, but a sci-fi movie. And what's interesting about it is it's one of the only movies where Tom Cruise isn't like the coolest guy in the room.
Yeah.
When the movie starts, he's a dork. He is he's in the military, but he's an office guy. Like he's never seen combat.
Yeah, he's like a spokesperson you send out to get people to join the military.
Yeah, so it's fun seeing him play like a doofus.
Yeah.
And he has an arc in the movie, so he does go into combat and he gets better and kind of becomes the Tom Cruise we know, but there's like an arc there that we never really see before, because in all of Tom Cruise's movies, like the second the movie starts, he's just big cock.
Yeah, he's a killing machine.
Yeah. I Chang, man, shit happens. We gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I normally hate time loop movies like Groundhog Day. I think they get repetitive and old, and some movies just know how to manage it, and they know how to change enough very frequently to where you stay interested.
Yeah.
Palm Springs did it, and Edge of Tomorrow did it, and I can't explain why. Some just work. I just think Groundhog Day got old. I don't really like Groundhog Day.
There's another hot take.
Yeah, but Palm Springs and Edge of Tomorrow, like it checks, like it works for me.
Yeah. I like Groundhog Day, but I think there's just a lot more going on with Edge of Tomorrow.
Dude,
Because
the suits they're
overall,
wearing are like practical.
Yeah, you're resetting, but you're still trying to get to that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still had a goal that they were trying to accomplish, and then each time they got like a step further, and they kept like trying again.
Yeah.
And things would change. So I think that's what it is. And in Groundhog Day, he's living the same day over and over again. But there isn't really a goal. He has to, like, you know, be a better person, and that gets him free. But
there's urgency in Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, like
there's like an imminent mission that needs to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. But yeah, it looks great, like the ships and like the technology and the guns they have, and the suits they built. They were in like these huge mech suits, like
exoskeletons,
like Batman v Superman. Fucking
yeah.
What did they call that suit? Batman's suit that he fights Superman in. It's got a name.
It's not the Justice Buster. What is it? I don't know.
It probably is Justice Buster in the comics. I don't know. But it's like that size. Like, it's a huge suit, and they actually built it and like wore it in the movie. And
it looks awesome.
That's crazy.
You get Emily Blunt with hers, and she's got that giant sword that she uses. Yeah. That's so fucking badass.
Yeah, it's awesome. What's your next one?
My next one's Moon.
My next one's Moon.
Whoa! Oh, look at that.
Maroon.
Yeah, Moon. I don't think I've ever talked to anyone that knows what the fuck Moon is. No one knows what this is.
It's almost like Moon.
Yeah,
it's like you're in Moon. Yeah, dude. By yourself.
So they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Sam Rockwell. And they're like, who the fuck
who
is
the
Sam
fuck is
Rockwell?
Sam Rockwell? You're like, directed by Duncan Jones. And they're like, who the fuck's Duncan Jones?
You're like, Sam Rockwell. Who else is in it? Fuck.
How do I say
Kevin
this?
Spacey is a voice in it.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it's a super awesome, very condensed, simple like story, and it's a Sam Rockwell one-man show. You know, you just get Sam Rockwell. Kevin Spacey voices like a robot, but it's like just a computer.
It's a one-man show.
So it's just fucking Sam Rockwell.
It's like Castaway in space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but the plot to it is so cool.
But they find ways to make it interesting. You don't get bored. It's not him wandering around on a ship. Like they find ways to keep you interested. And I watched it I think last year, and like I liked it.
I do think it could have been a lot more boring had you not cast someone like Sam.
Yeah, he's the star there.
Yeah,
God,
everything.
I wish he was in more stuff, dude. He's so good. And it's like he never gets lead roles. He's always supporting.
Yeah, he's so charismatic.
Yeah.
Like at one point in Moon, he's just like building a miniature, and he makes it cool shit.
But you have a great time watching him.
Yeah, because it's Sam fucking Rockwell. He's like wearing a wearable sleeping bag.
Yeah. Building
a miniature in a spaceship.
He needs to be cast in like a big franchise, like as the lead, so general audiences can like learn who he is.
I hoped he was gonna get more exposure after 3 Billboards, but I don't think he really.
Dude, he needs to work with Wes Anderson.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like, if he's not gonna be in big budget movies, it appears he doesn't want to be, or no one wants him to be in them. But he should just go like the indie route and just start working with like Wes Anderson and Noah Baumbach and. You know,
I love everything he's like. Anytime he's in a movie, I'm like, fuck yeah.
He was great in See How They Run.
Yeah, I love
that movie. Was like sort of forgettable, but he was fun. Yeah, Saoirse Ronan was fun.
Heck yeah.
Moon's the shit.
Moon fucks.
Now my next one is Equilibrium.
Dude, I just glanced over on your shelf and saw that.
Damn right you did.
And I did not think you were gonna put Equilibrium on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
For the audio listeners,
you gotta do the pose.
He did the pose. He did the double gun pose.
What a ridiculous fucking movie.
Basically, Equilibrium is like a studio's response to the success of The Matrix.
Yeah.
Like some studio, I don't know who made it, but they were like, "Hey, people love The Matrix. Let's just make one of those." And they just cast one of the hottest actors at the time. They just got Christian Bale to like do another Matrix, and it's like The Matrix mixed with like 1984, or like like V for Vendetta. Like it's got a lot of like political and social commentary, but it's also really fun. The action's really over the top, and like a lot of slow mo, and like funny shots, like funny insert shots of him like posing with guns in the middle of fights.
Yeah.
It's
Him being surrounded by 6 guys and shooting each of them 60 times.
Yeah.
And they're just standing there taking each shot.
Yeah.
They're Swiss cheese at this point.
If you can embrace it for what it is, like you'll have a great time watching Equilibrium.
Yeah.
If you're being overly critical, you'll probably think it sucks. But I think it's a blast. And it also has like stuff to say. Like it also has some, some emotion and some commentary and like, are you looking at Don't Talk? Yeah.
Dude,
Dune's playing in the background right now, and we're at the Don't Talk scene.
Dude,
so.
I was just about to say to hit the people with your impression of Don't Talk.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
sorry for the intrusion, but
That's crazy. That's wild. That's the best thing I've heard this whole time. God bless. Oh God. What a fun time.
Equilibrium. Yeah, it's good. I watched it a while ago, so I don't remember a ton, but it's fun. Just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Try to have fun with it. I think you'll like it.
It's a cool movie, yeah.
Yeah. What's your next one?
My next one is a movie you haven't seen, but
Ooh.
it's Sunshine.
I want to watch Sunshine.
Yeah. Sunshine. This is kind of a bad example, but it's without going into detail because you want to watch it. It's really cool, and it's a lot like Barbarian. There's a very drastic
Like changes halfway
change
through.
in tone where the movie becomes something else, and it's really cool. I'd never seen anything like that before until I watched Sunshine, and then I watched it. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
So, Sunshine, Kill Shot, like, what else do you want, dude?
Directed by Danny Boyle.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I've only seen it once, but I remember being like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, I want to watch it really bad. People love Sunshine, and I love Kill Shot.
Yeah.
So, Kill Shot is Cillian Murphy for newcomers.
I think you mean Cillian Murphy.
Dude, the kid in the Dark Knight Rises screening said that to me. Or after Batman Begins, he was like, "Was Scarecrow played by Cillian Murphy?" And I was like, "Get away from me! You smell." All right.
Is that? I wonder if we're the idiots
What?
saying Killian.
No, that's his name.
Oh, I don't know, dude. Irish people have fucking crazy ways that they say
Like
and spell
Siobhan,
things.
or Siobhan being spelled Siobhan.
Yeah,
And,
or
in
Saoirse.
Succession, and Saoirse, and
Yeah,
and dude, the first time I watched Banshees, I had no idea what their names were.
yeah.
I heard Column, like, I was like, okay, maybe his name's like Column, like that's a pretty standard name.
Yeah.
And then the other one, what was the other one's name? It's weird.
Callum and fucking.
Let me
I don't
see.
know. The Irish are unpredictable, dude. They do crazy shit.
Yeah. Banshees.
You're rowling.
I don't think we're rowing. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm looking at it right now. Park. Yeah.
Park.
It's spelled Padraic. That's how you would read it in English.
Padraic.
Yeah, but it's like Park.
Yeah, Park.
In Irish. It's crazy. Oh yeah, and then Siobhan is also in that movie, and it's Siobhan. That's how it's spelled. Crazy stuff. But no, it's Killian.
Okay.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Sunshine. Yeah, Sunshine. Yeah, I want to watch it. I'm in.
The Irish names fucking gets us every time, dude.
Yeah. My next one, pretty popular movie, so it might seem kind of out of place on here. I'm going with Tenet.
Ooh.
Go fuck yourself. Sorry. Tenet's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Tenet's...
people write it off like it's only good visuals and score, and the rest is bad. Fuck you.
You weren't that into
I ordered
it
my
initially.
hot sauce an hour ago. That's what I say to you. All right?
You did a big turnaround on it.
You're trying to understand it. You need to feel it.
Yeah.
So, I did. I didn't
Instinct.
do a turnaround. It was like I was so excited for it going into it. I watched it, and I was like, "That was awesome," but I need to watch it again to like fully understand it. And then I watched it a second time, and I was like, well, I'm sure the third time when I watch it, I'll get it. And then the third time, I was like, I mean, it's got to be fourth time's the charm. Like I was upset that I like couldn't really, like, I'm paying attention to what they're saying, but my brain can't comprehend it. Yeah. Like my brain can't, it's easy to say like, oh, at the end of the movie, Robert Pattinson's on the red team and they're going forward in time, and or they're going backward in time, and John David Washington's on the blue team and they're going forward in time, and they're both like fighting at the same time, but they're moving backwards in time, and it's like, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't make sense in my head. Yeah. And then at the end, like, the end's kind of confusing because it's like, if Robert Pattinson's from the future, how is he here? Did he wait 27 years to get here? Has he been going 27 years in an inverter to get here? Like it there's things that, like, if you think about them too hard, they cannot make sense. But when you watch a movie, you are trying to, just immerse into a movie and forget where you are and have a great time. And that's what Tenet does for me. Yeah. And, The Dark Knight Rises is the same way. Like, when I watch The Dark Knight Rises, I don't think of any plot holes. I love what I'm seeing so much that I'm just immersed. There's things I don't like, and there's things that I think are stupid, but they're not plot holes. I'm not like, well, that doesn't make sense because if this happened, then this happened, and like I'm not doing that. Like, I'm maybe if the movie's bad, so my mind is wandering because I'm bored and I start thinking about shit, maybe that would happen. But when a movie's great and you're immersed into it, I don't really think about any of that stuff, and I just think Tenet is a great time. It is. It's a really good time, and there is stuff that doesn't make sense. It's not the most clear movie. It's not finely crafted like Inception. Doesn't have. It's not going to explain anything to you. You're there to experience it, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. I think there was a lot of hype around Tenet too, and like because it wasn't the best thing ever made. Yeah. A lot of people were like, it's just okay, but it's a really good movie. It's just not. It's not Inception or Interstellar. Yeah. It's not as good as those, but it's still fantastic. Like, loose. Yeah. With those other movies, it's like it seems like he worked on the script longer and like finally tuned it to where it's pretty airtight. I'd say Interstellar has a couple things here and there maybe that's like, I don't know about that, but Tenet's got a lot of them. Yeah. But if you're it's still a great time. Yeah. It's a great time and a great movie. So much fun. The score is heavenly by Ludwig Göransson. So, Tenet's on my list. Fuck the haters. Yeah. Order my hot sauce an hour ago. Gotta love John David. I drink soda water. Drink soda water? Yeah. Oh, God. What's your next movie? I only did 5. How many do you have? I have 2 more. Well, one of them's upgrade, so I have 1 more. I can do another one. This was kind of not. I mean, it's not a joke, but it's like it's a sci-fi comedy, and I tried to not do like multiple genre movies where like Terminator 2 is like sci-fi action. It's also not underrated. It's a masterpiece, but like I tried to pick like strictly sci-fi. Yeah, and I see what you're saying. And this last one is sci-fi comedy. Yeah. But I still wanted to throw it out there because no one's seen it. Do you know what it is? I don't. I'm not. It's sci-fi comedy. Oh, is it The Watch? It's The Watch. Yeah. I thought about doing The Watch, but I was like, another movie I was going to add was Alita Battle Angel to my list, but I did 5. I was like, 5 is enough. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. A lot of people know about Alita, so I left it. But I was like, The Watch, but... Dude, I fucking love The Watch. It's more comedy than sci-fi. I'm not going to use it. Yeah. So, if you haven't seen The Watch, listen. Just go watch it. Just take my word for it. Go into it just like wanting to have a good time, wanting to have a laugh, and you're going to have a great time. Yeah. Because it is fucking hysterical. So, the concept of The Watch is it's Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill. So you should be in already, just by what I just said. And then I think the last guy's name is Richard Ayoade, and
I've never been able to remember his name.
Yeah, he's not as popular as the others, but basically they form a neighborhood watch because people have been getting abducted by aliens and like being killed by aliens.
Yeah,
that's the concept, and it's just the actors in the roles are just so funny. And there's a scene when Ben Stiller goes to a football game to give like a speech to the audience at halftime to get them to join the neighborhood watch, and he's saying, and at the Costco I work at, my coworker he was just murdered and had his skin taken off, and we gotta let those guys know that you can't kill people and take their skin. So dude, just watch it, dude. I love that scene. Just fucking watch it. Then there's a scene where Vince Vaughn finds these nesting eggs,
and he's like,
nesting dolls. There's another one. Hey guys, oh my god.
He's like, why don't you just come sit down? Hey, I gotta eat the bottom of this, man. This thing goes on forever.
And then he opens another one. He's like, "You're joking."
No way. No way.
Yeah, and then Jonah Hill plays just a weirdo.
Yeah.
Dude, just watch it. I don't want to spoil all the jokes, but just don't take it too seriously, and just go in and you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
It has my seal of approval. I think it's really fucking funny.
Yeah. We love the watch.
Yeah. I want to watch it right now. Now that I'm talking about it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what we got.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I don't think so. I think I got all my sci-fi movies I wanted to give a shout out to. All awesome movies.
Yep. Like we said, our next episode will be about the creator. And then it's spooky season.
I'm excited. I have a lot to talk about when it comes down to horror. My love-hate relationship of horror.
Yeah. And so all of our episodes are gonna be Halloween/horror themed through the month of October. Should be 4 episodes. Different topic every week. And that's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah. I'll prepare my in-depth review of my DeWalt toolboxes that I'll be getting.
Are you gonna do that?
No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. They don't give a fuck about that. Dude.
I don't think anyone knows what you just said.
I think we have 2 different audiences that we would need.
But yeah, spooky season coming up. That's gonna be fun. Gonna watch a lot of horror movies.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have, the episode will have like a topic we'll talk about that's horror themed, and then our whole watch list will probably be horror themed too. So
we'll be getting scaled.
We may be getting scaled. Maybe just a teensy bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week when we talk about later this week, because we're seeing the creator in 2 days. So you'll probably get a new episode in like 4 days, approximately.
Look at
something like that. We'll pump out another one.
Yeah.
Just because goddamn.
Yeah. Just fucking spread their cheeks and get another one right in there.
Bicep curl another episode out. Just for the dudes, for the fellas, for the boys, for the men.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in a few days
on another episode of
checking out the Film Scoop.